Hello and welcome to Select 10. In this video, we'll highlight some of the top new web series that launched on platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV+, and others between August 2023 and September 2023. This list of the top 10 new web series will include a combination of new and returning shows with new seasons that you might like to add to your watch list. Also, let us know in the comments how many of these you've seen and which ones you want to see next. Now let's start the video. Number 10. Sex Education Season 4. I am not going to lie, if you are a fan of this series and connected with a certain character and were hoping for something better for them in this final season, you are in for a letdown. The show's world building was fantastic in seasons 1 through 3, but in season 4, it gets completely overlooked, making the season a fine mess. If the show had stopped with the third season, even that ending would have been much better than what we received in the final season. However, if you are a neutral viewer who does not care much about how the characters' stories end, you might enjoy it. In season 4, Moordale students have been enrolled at Cavendish College, while Maeve is in the United States, following her dream of becoming a professional writer. The remaining episodes of the series focus on the developments that occur at the new school, including Otis and Maeve's attempts at a long-distance relationship and Otis's encounter with another sex therapist, as well as a few new characters. The show's first 3 seasons seamlessly merge the least examined subjects with the simplicity and pleasure of teen humor, but this season feels overcrowded and the climax is underwhelming, making it seem like it was all for nothing. Number 9. The Woman in the Wall. It is a mystery drama created by Joe Murta. The main character of the story is Lorna, who awakens to discover a female's dead body inside her home. Lorna has no clue who the deceased woman was or if she is accountable for the suspected killing. Meanwhile, Lorna, who has a long past of sleepwalking, going right back to her period in Ireland's contentious Magdalene laundries, starts doubting herself. The plot thickens as the enigmatic detective Coleman Akan starts looking into her for an offense unconnected to the one that resulted in the death of the woman. This series is set in the context of the Magdalene Nurseries incident and tells the story from the main character's perspective. Overall, the story offers a gripping narrative that is a blend of social history, emotional thrills, and Ruth Wilson's powerful performance. Nevertheless, if you are not fond of thrillers that challenge your thoughts and perspectives, this one may not work for you. Number 8. American Horror Story. It is a horror anthology series created by Ryan Murphy and Brad Falchuk. Each season is intended mainly as a standalone miniseries. For example, the first season, Murder Mansion, is set in 2011 and revolves around a group of people living in a haunted mansion. The second season, Asylum, unfolds in 1964 and features the inmates and employees of a facility for the mentally ill. Each season of the show follows a different cast of characters in a fresh setting with an entirely distinct story. 12th season is set in New York City and follows actress Anna Victoria Alcott as she learns that somebody is doing everything in their power to prevent her from having a kid with her partner. Unfortunately, Anna is confronted with a number of strange situations and is forced to hide from an unknown intruder. Kim Kardashian is a member of this season's cast, while a few other new faces are anticipated to show up later on. The show is oddly entertaining and full of ridiculous ideas that jump between fantasy, horror, monsters, and many more we can't even imagine. The uncanny aspects of this season's first episode may not completely change the tone of the show, but they sparked curiosity and kept viewers tuned in for the rest. Number 7. Burning Body. It is a 2023 crime television miniseries written by Laura Sarmiento. The plot begins following the uncovering of a burned police officer's corpse, which ultimately triggers a criminal investigation into a web of illicit relationships, loyalty, cruelty, and love controversies concerning the murdered cop and 2 further fellow agents, Rosa and Albert. When viewing the show, the question who killed him will never leave your mind, and the plot contains enough surprises and uncertainty to keep the viewers guessing about the killer's true nature. The story was inspired by actual occurrences in the life of an ex-Spanish policewoman, Rosa Pearl, that led up to the killing of her partner. The show's writing is well balanced and makes for ridiculously fascinating viewing. Although the main plot struggles to explain Rosa Pearl's behavior, the plot will hook you with its dramatic tone. Number 6. The Changeling. It is a horror fantasy series created by Kelly Marcel. The series centers on Apollo, a father who looks for his disappeared son and lost wife and travel through an enchanted realm. All of this happens when Apollo and his wife, Emma, adjust to their new responsibilities as parents, and Emma starts acting strangely, performs an awful deed, and then disappears. Following this strange incident, Apollo sees himself on an odd journey to locate them, who are not at all what he had anticipated. The narrative explores more strange plotlines as it goes along, adding sinister twists to standard tales of fantasy. The first 5 episodes currently available so far, and they tackle a variety of topics, from the wedding of Apollo and Emma, Apollo's unusual book, and Apollo's contact with an enigmatic washerwoman who brings him closer to an unidentified enemy. The remaining episodes will go further into his adventure, which will lead him to a secretive, forsaken land of ancient myths. The first episode of this show did a good job of establishing the distinctive tone and characters. But the show theme is complex and needs the audience's complete attention for its imaginative plot. Number 5. New Bandits. It is a Western crime action series created by Mariana Barton and Eduardo Milo. The plot revolves around Ubaldo, a routine bank employee who has no recollection of his childhood but discovers an inheritance that will alter his life forever. In the aftermath, he returns to his hometown of Kratara to resolve a succession dispute and finds his lost siblings and a band of thieves attacking banks in nearby towns. In order to carry on his real father's traditions, he is eventually obliged to pursue his calling as the head of a group of extremely dangerous bank robbers and must deal with criminals, dishonest local officials, by putting his own ethical standards in peril. The story is intended for Western viewers, and the Brazilian viewpoint on his genre fits perfectly, differentiating this series from usual Western action shows. The heist scenes are chaotic, and the episodes are quick-moving and overflowing with real-life situations, drama, and action that fleshes out the hideous truths of the town's evil characters. Number 4. The Continental. It is a crime action miniseries developed by Greg Coolidge, Kirk Ward, and Sean Simmons. Simply put, if you've seen a John Wick, you'll be familiar with Winston Scott's character. Well, this series explains his early years, background, and how he got involved in a global network of assassins and rose to eventually become the owner of the Continental Hotel. In the world of John Wick movies, there is a series of hotels called the Continental that acts as a safe haven for individuals from the underworld. The series will have 3 parts, the first of which was released on September 22, 2023. The series examines the history of the legendary Hotel for Assassins through the viewpoint of a young Winston Scott and takes place in 1970s New York City. The pilot episode follows Winston Scott as he must help his sibling escape Cormac, the cruel mobster who owns the hotel. The series presents varying versions of actual events, such as the mafia's rise to financial dominance and the winter of discontent. Fans of John Wick and action are going to like this. Number 3. The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. It is a post-apocalyptic horror series created by David Zabel. It is the 6th television series in the Walking Dead franchise, and it takes place after the original series' conclusion. So far, 3 episodes have aired, with a total of 6 episodes expected. Also, good news for fans, the show has been renewed for a 2nd season. The story revolves around Daryl, who escaped the Commonwealth and ended up on the French land, struggling to figure out the reason why he ended up there. But as he travels, he finds himself in a cult run by a nun by the name of Isabel, who takes care of him. However, Daryl's entry triggers a series of actions that spark the emergence of more hazardous enemies. The series follows him as he travels through a crumbling, yet resourceful France in search of his way home. The setting in France brings us full circle and introduces the audience to a potentially more serious threat to the survival of humans. Overall, the first 3 episodes deliver a satisfying amount of the classic series' thrilling horror and drama, and it is a must-see for franchise fans. Number 2. Power Book 4, Force. It is a crime drama series created by Robert Munich. The show is the 3rd spin-off and successor of one of the most underrated show, Power. The story focuses on Tommy Egan, who departs from New York and travels to his hometown in order to launch a new business. When he gets there, he learns fresh knowledge regarding his family and encounters with the Flynns, a known crime family in the area. Meanwhile, CBI cartel boss Diamond Sampson gets freed from jail after 15 years, wanting to keep out of major trouble. However, Tommy and Diamond's paths soon cross as Egan chooses to embark on a new beginning in the town. It is a powerful series that contains all the edgy elements for which the Power series is known for. It's a modern gangster thriller with all the classic plotlines, such as rivalry between criminal organizations, deadly territory conflicts, and personal disputes. It is a terrific watch for anyone looking for the best crime thriller. Also, the 2nd season's premiere started, and there are currently 4 episodes available. Assuming that many of you have not yet watched the first season, we will discuss season 2 in a future video of a new web series to avoid giving anything away. Number 1. Song of the Bandits. It is a 2023 Western action series directed by Hwang Jun-hyuk. The drama takes place during the chaotic period of Japanese imperial rule over Korea and tells the tale of a team of individuals who, for many different reasons, find themselves in the anarchic country of Gando and come together to defend the nation. The plot presents a gripping, action-packed story that plays out as many groups, each with their own goals, come into conflict in the anarchic nation of Gando in the 1920s. The main story follows Choi Chung-soo, a rebel warrior, and Lee Yoon, a Korean commander in the Japanese army, as they collaborate to create a separate outlaw gang in order to shield the citizens from the fallout of this brewing conflict. The plot combines the strongest aspects of a Western thriller with K-drama's well-known emotional touch. Overall, it is a well-crafted period action story that concentrates on the various facets of a civilization striving for freedom. While staying true to the main plot, it expertly balances the different genres and gives a ton of spectacular action moments with an immensely powerful and dramatic tale with a lot of twists that push forward its somewhat slow narrative. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. And do subscribe our channel to see more videos related to movies and series suggestions.